Good morning, Brian. I wanted to get your thoughts on the thinking behind extending Adam Shaheen.
I think he's come in, obviously via trade. He's really worked hard. I think he's been productive over the first 6 weeks of the season. And we just felt like he was somebody we wanted to, keep around for a few more years. And, there's been some discussions ongoing, and those guys were able to strike a deal.
All right, Safik.
Good morning, Flo. What are some things you're looking to see from Tua and the offense in practice today?
Same thing we're always looking for: good communication, cohesiveness along the offensive line, and our run blocking and run assignments. Same thing in our play action and drop back, and then good overall execution. I think we need a good look from our scout team. Look, the Rams are a very good defense. They're fast. They tackle well. They don't give up very many big plays, so this will be a tough test. So we need a good look from our scout team. But offensively, good communication, good fundamentals, good technique, and good overall execution to start the week off and try to build on that throughout the week. But obviously that starts in meetings, which we'll do that this morning, take that to the walkthrough, and then hopefully execute in practice.
Joe?
Morning, Flo. How do you feel about the matchup between Aaron Donald and the offensive line, in particular the interior guys?
Look, Aaron Donald's a great player. I mean, he really is. I think we all know that he's one of the best defensive players in the league. He's consistently been that for a number of years now. But they've got a lot of other good players. Obviously, he's obviously probably their best player, but they got a lot of good players there. Floyd, Brockers, John Johnson, obviously Jalen Ramsey. So our offensive line's it's not just 5-on-1. Let's be clear on that. They know that. We talked to them about that already. Obviously, we have to pay close attention to Aaron Donald, and he's a very, very great a great player. But they got a very good team over there. So I don't want to. I have a lot of respect for Donald, but they got some good players over there, and we have to handle all of them because they can all make plays.
Cam?
Hey, good morning, Flo. It seems like Sunday might be the first time that Tua gets, physically tackled. Is there any curiosity or thoughts about that, and maybe how he'll react to that?
No, I think from a health standpoint, we feel good about where he is, and he's going to get hit in the game. We know that. So no, actually, it's not something I haven't even thought of until you just brought it up. So. Our focus is on, having a good meeting, having good practice, and I'm trying to go out and execute in practice today and just string along good days this week.
Adam?
I wanted to ask you about how comfortable you were with how your team conducted itself during the bye. Was the level of compliance what you thought it might be?
We talked to him about, just being responsible, keeping your distance, wearing the masks. Well, I imagine, or I hope that they were all, responsible and did the right things. So far so good as far as, from a testing standpoint. But again, like I've said since training camp, you can do everything right, and it can still affect your team, your family, etc. So. I'm hoping we did everything right. You just never know. Look, it's a lot of people in the building. We don't have eyes on everyone, but I think, we're all trying to be responsible, do the right things. So far, so good. But I think the for me, the thought is, if we can do everything right, and it could still show up. So all we can do is put our best foot forward. And, I think there's some peace in knowing that you at least did that. And if something happens, then it happens. And that's out of our hands.
Cam?
Hey Flo, I know you talk a lot about the 111th and being a team and not just the quarterback position. Is there something that you tell to Tua, to help him understand that he doesn't have to win the game or do it all for you guys in his first start?
I mean, I just think that, each player understands that already. I think, that it's, when you're on a team and you're in a locker room and you're in a practice field, I mean, it's pretty obvious that, if no one blocks for you, that's not going to work out. It's not going to work out for a quarterback or a running back or a receiver. Or if, somebody lines up incorrectly defensively, they're going to hit a big play. I think to me, those things are obvious. I think, especially when you're in it on a play-to-play basis. So, and we talk about it, extensively. It's not, everyone has to, take care of their assignment, handle their responsibility for it all to work. It takes 11. So, I mean, it's something we talk about, but I think it's, unless maybe I'm the lone guy on this, but I think it's pretty obvious. You're on the field, and if your O-line doesn't block, you're going to get sacked. If your O-line doesn't block, you're not going to have a good play. If, a receiver just stands there when he's supposed to run a route, when you throw it to him, it's going to be incomplete. I think we kind of all know and understand everyone's got to do their part. And if we do that, then we give ourselves a chance to be successful. But it's a team game. I hope everybody gets that. I mean, I say it enough.
David?
Coach, one more into it. Was there any kind of convincing or anything that he maybe had to do, or any reassuring he had to do for you guys to let you guys know, hey, I'm 100%, I'm ready to go. I'm able to play and be at my full strength?
No.
All right, we have one more question. We'll go to Steve.
Hey Ryan, are you expecting Tua? Sometimes rookies may not say a lot or lead, even in meetings or whatever. Have you seen his demeanor change at all now that he's the one? And were you expecting it, or are you expecting him to kind of step up a little differently?
How you doing, Steve? Good to see
Doing
you.
well, Coach. Good seeing you.
Yeah.
Appreciate you having me on here.
Tua, I think, I think it's a leadership position. So once you step into that role, you step into the huddle, and everyone's listening to your voice, listening to you, call the play. So, from that standpoint, he's, when he's been in there as a second team quarterback, he's assumed that role. But I think when you're in there as the number one guy, then you assume a little bit bigger role. And that's just natural to the position. I think everyone kind of knows that. But I think he's just being himself, which is what we try to tell all the players. Just be yourself. Don't try to be somebody you're not, and try to just be authentic. I think that's another thing that's important to the position, and really any position. Just be yourself, be authentic, be who you are. And then obviously we all got to bring different personalities and try to come together on a play after play after play basis, and try to execute our fundamentals, our technique, and try to have a good play. One good play, and then try to string good plays together. But specific to Tua and trying to do more, I think just being the first, being with the first team, that kind of naturally induces a little bit more. But I think he's being who he's been, since we got him.